This might just be my new favorite tuning for acoustic blues. Double drop D. It sounds so good, it's dark, and it's interesting. Let's get into it. By the way, before we start, premium members have access to additional lesson materials and a members-only tutorial on this example where we go deep, and that's going live later today. But now let's dive into a few ways that you can use this tuning, double drop D, to get some cool jams happening on your guitar. What I love about playing in double drop D is that it gives you a chance to explore the key of D, and you really only need a couple of fingers on the fretboard at a time to play some really interesting arrangements. What I'm doing here is playing a D chord. It's neither major nor minor, which I think gives us some room to spread out and play around with some cool tonalities here, right? It's not major or minor because we've got D, A, D, A, D, D when I'm fretting this chord. There's no third, be it F, which would make it minor, or F sharp, which would make it major. Now, what I did at the beginning of this video was that I incorporated the minor seventh by dropping down on the second string from the D down to a C. But still, we don't get a third in there. We kind of think about that as D7, but is it a D7? Or D minor 7, we don't know. But later on in the example, I moved up here to my root D on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then I played an F, which is going to give us the idea of D minor. So in this case, the example at the opening, I was really going for that minor sound. Another thing that I really dig about playing in this tuning is that I can focus my minor pentatonic licks to just the 3rd string and the 2nd string. The reason is that all these other strings sound really good ringing out when I'm working over the D chord part, or D minor, as the case may be, right? Let's take a look at what I'm talking about. So with this shape is my home bass, and I'm not playing anything on the 1st string. That's ringing the open D note there. But familiar shape for a lot of us. And I can use this as kind of a grounding point to then work up the 2nd string. Let's just focus on the 2nd string here and work up this string with the notes of the minor pentatonic scale. So here I moved up from D on the 3rd fret up to F. That's the minor 3rd, the 2nd note of our minor pentatonic scale. And then up from F, we've got G, which is the 3rd note of our minor pentatonic scale. The 4th note is up a couple frets again, and that's an A. And then I'm going to drop here for the C, which is the final note of our minor pentatonic scale. And notice what I did there. I landed and incorporated the 3rd string. This is another great string to really focus your minor pentatonic moves and licks on, because everything else sounds really good open, right? So here's my root. I can go down and catch the flat 7, the dominant 7, right? And go down again, but this time down to the A on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And remember that from our D shape. I just used a different finger before. Right? Then the open, and we're just working backwards through this scale here. That's the G note there, which is the open 3rd string. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground along the 3rd string. We could, of course, go up from here as well to F, and then there's that G, open, or the 12th fret. So get familiar with the minor pentatonic scale up and down these 2 strings. Strum the big openness of double drop D while you're doing that, and try to keep it all alive. And I think you can come up with some really cool ideas. One of my other favorite things to do is to use octaves on the 6th string and the 4th string. Just put your middle finger, this is what I do, middle finger on the 6th string at A fret. I'm going to use the 3rd fret here. And then the octave of that is at the same fret, and I'm going to sneak my ring finger in there. And I can create some really cool sounds just moving along those 2 strings. Hey, if you learned something from this lesson, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sure helps me out a lot. And if you want to go deeper and grab additional lesson materials where we go deep, like the tab and a slower tutorial, again, it's happening live today, maybe already happened. Step-by-step courses also available in the My BGI library. Just click right over there and join the membership. A lot of cool things going on, and I hope to see you inside My BGI. Until then, practice smart and play on.